Well, hello everyone. I'm Sam Bailey. I'm Don and Donna's grandson, and I'll say a few words on behalf of us grandchildren. But first, I just wanted to give my heartfelt appreciation that you're all here, and it means so much to us that you came to share in our sorrow today. Don was a true gentleman, humble, modest, and self-deprecating. Were he still living, all this praise he is receiving today would have embarrassed him to no end. He was a master at teasing, and in some ways it was his main form of communicating. He could poke fun at you without ever leaving a trace of malice, and yet always there was a kernel of truth embedded in his jests. Don had a very playful sense of humor. He never took himself too seriously, and more often than not, he was the butt of his own jokes, although he did get me with a few good ones too. His nickname for me when I was a child used to be the front-end loader, as my method of eating was to get my mouth right down on the same level of my plate and then just shovel the food in. My brother he dubbed the bottomless pit. One winter when Don and Donna were away in Australia, we sent them a package that included a hat for Don. And on the hat it said written, "Wish you were hair." When we met them in the airport on their return, Don was wearing a wig with flowing locks down past his shoulders, and the hat we gave him crammed on top. He insisted that the hat we sent had miraculously regrown all his hair, and he stuck to this joke until long after anyone thought it was funny. Don was very involved in me and my siblings' lives right up until the end. He and Donna were a final safety net for our family, and although my parents, bless them, did their very best, we needed it on occasion. They gifted us our family home, where I grew up, a huge gift, and one that had obvious implications for the stability of our childhood. As a kinesiology professor, Don had a real love for sport. Although, like most of us, he did have one flaw. He was, for reasons I could never really ascertain, a diehard fan of the Boston Bruins. He also believed in the transformative power of sport to enrich a life. As such, he helped my parents enroll my siblings and I in hockey year after year, gymnastics, and anything else we showed an interest in. He came to watch us play and was always quick to praise and encourage us at every opportunity, in spite of our mediocrity. Don would never impose his viewpoint or insist that anything was done his way. He would just be supportive of whatever endeavors we had chosen to pursue. He also believed in the value of a good education, and he and Donna helped facilitate our secondary schooling. It's really impossible to pay homage to Don without mentioning Lac La Ronge and Stuke Island, our family cabin, and his favorite place in the world. A place of great solace and sanity in an increasingly turbulent time, and a retreat from the tribulations of coming of age and modernity. There we learned to love and understand nature. We got to run wild and free, to swim, canoe, and sail. There, under the tutelage and encouragement of our grandparents, we learned how to build docks and decks, use a chainsaw and an axe, maintain old equipment, and cook over an open fire. It was at the lake that Don taught me to shoot a gun and drive a boat. It was there we learned the value and pleasure of working with our hands. Now, as a father myself, I better understand how much time, money, and energy is required to maintain a place like that, and how much work it is to care for and teach children in a place so far removed from the technology of the modern world. Our camp on Stuke Island has now been enjoyed by 5 generations of our family. I remember Don most fondly wandering around the island, working on projects all day while the rest of us were relaxing, or very slowly inching his way into the water, complaining about the cold the whole time, or planning his next move in his campaign against the beavers, his sworn enemies, or fretting about the boat and going back to check on it 5 times a day. There are so many great memories. It takes time for the magnitude of our loss to sink in. Don was an incredible grandfather and a true mentor. He encouraged me in my career, as he loved the railroad in the way only someone who never worked on it could. In his gentle, quiet way, he always managed to nudge us in the right direction. His generosity of spirit was second to none. I'm not sure where we would have ended up without him. He'll be dearly missed. Thank you.